I will show you how to solve this hard Sudoku using a strategy that most other solvers would overlook. I'll even predict the other strategies they try that are less effective. Click below if you want to give this puzzle a go. And with that, it's solving time. Look at block 3. Where can a 1 go? Because of this one and this one, there's only 2 possibilities for the 1. So I'm going to mark that using Snyder notation. Anytime in a 3x3 block, you have 2 possibilities for a candidate. Mark it in case we solve one of these cells. We're going to solve the other one right away. In hard puzzles like this, you have to solve until you get stuck and gather information along the way. Then you can look for those more advanced strategies. Where can a 4 go up here? You got this 4 and you got this 4. We can put Snyder 4s in block 3. Also notice with these 2 4s and this 4, Snyder 4s in block 8. Greetings, friend. If you're new to the channel, I welcome you to Smart Hobbies. Subscribe, tap the bell for notifications if you want to turn your passing interest in Sudoku into a fun and enjoyable hobby. Every puzzle has a story. Julian Locke sent me this puzzle he created as a harder version of round 2, puzzle 2 of the 2024 Sudoku Grand Prix. Thank you so much, Julian, for this puzzle. I really enjoyed it. You can send me your puzzles through the Discord or Reddit links below in the description, and I may just feature them in a future video. We can solve for a 5 down here in block 8. You see these 2 5s and this 5. Only place left for a 5 is right there. Then we put Snyder 5s in block 7. And with this 5 and this 5, Snyder 5s in block 3. Got a lot of marks here in block 3. All right, the 6s, we can solve for a 6 up in block 1 because of those 2 6s and this 6, that happens to be a 6, and Snyder 6s in block 3. And then in block 8, you have this 6 and this 6. Put Snyder 6s right there. Look for the 7s. We can solve for a 7 because you have these 2 7s in column 7 and 9. This 7 in row 7. Only place for a 7 in block 9 is right there. Snyder 7s in block 8. And then up in block 1 with this 7 and this 7, Snyder marks in block 7. How about the 8s? Because of this 8 and this 8, we can actually solve for an 8 up here in block 8. And now with these 2 8s and this 8, we can solve for an 8 in block 2. And then with these 2 8s and this 8, we can solve for an 8 in block 9. And then this is really cool. I'm going to show you a bonus tip here, okay? Where can the 8s be in block 5? Only in these 2 spots. And where can the 8s be in block 6? Well, because of these 2 8s, they can only be in this spot. And so what we have here are the 8s are limited to rows 4 and 6 in blocks 5 and 6. I'll color those blue. This is what's called a mini X-Wing. It's a mini X-Wing because the X-Wing, which the 8s can be either here and here, or here and here, like an X, are within 2 blocks. If you had the 8s up here, that would be a full X-Wing. But in this situation, it gives us great information. Since the 8s are limited to rows 4 and row 6 in blocks 5 and 6, you can look right here in row 5 in block 4. Because an 8 has to be somewhere along the row. It can't be in any of these spots. So it's got to be in one of these spots. And since you see an 8 right there, we can solve this for a hidden single 8. Okay, let's remove these colors. And we'll look at the 9s. You got 9s in block 2 because of this 9 and this 9. 9 or 9s in block 2. And then in block 9, because of this 9, only 2 possibilities for a 9. And this is the spot where you probably got stuck. There are several advanced strategies you can apply at this point. You're going to be looking for single candidate strategies or maybe filling in by value cells and looking that way. In the single candidate strategies, you could find a finned X-Wing. You could find a skyscraper. There's a skyscraper that makes some eliminations, or a 2-string kite. In fact, I feature 2-string kites in my latest rewards puzzle pack. And what this means to you is you get a tutorial and 5 themed puzzles to practice the strategy. And the real value is every month I'll send you another pack to sharpen your skills on another featured strategy. If you want to solve Sudoku better, click on the pinned comment and join the Smarty Party today. I do want you to drop in the comments if you found any of those other strategies, the finned X-Wing skyscraper or the two-string kite. Now, I'm going to show you the one you overlooked. Let's first fill out row 2. You have a 3, 5, 6, 8, and 9. We need a 1, 2, 4, 7. Since you have a 1, 2 here, that's just a 4, 7, BVC, buy, value, sell. It means we're on track to something. We can remove the 4 from right there. You have a 4 and a 7 in this column. So it leaves us a 1, 2. And then you have a 7 right here. So we got a 1, 2, 4. Doesn't seem like much. All right. The only thing you really need to pay attention to is there's a limitation on where the ones can be, right? Because of this one, you get a 1 here, or you can have a 1 right there. Now, let's see what is in this cell. It can be a 1, but it can't be a 2. It can be a 3, but it can't be a 4, 5, 6, 7, or an 8. So this cell is a 1, 3, or 9. And the reason why you probably didn't pay much attention to this cell is because it has 3 digits. It's not a BVC. It's got 3 digits. However, it sees 2 other cells that are very important. What can this cell be? Can't be a 1. It can be a 2, but it can't be a 3. It can't be a 4, 5, 6, 7, or an 8. Or a 9. This can only be a 1 or a 3. Okay? I'll color that in blue. Now look down this column at this cell. What can this cell be? Well, it could be a 1, but it can't be a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or an 8. This could be a 1 or a 9. Now, whenever you have 3 candidates, one of them contains, one of them's in a cell, it contains all 3 of them, and it's in the same block as 2 of the 3 candidates, and then in the same house outside the block to the other candidates, you have a nice thing called a Sudoku XYZ-Wing. The way you recognize it is you look kind of like an XY wing, but you have additional candidate here in that pivot. And now if you want to test this out, just go, if you put a 1 right here, what happens? Any cell that sees this cannot contain a 1. You put a 3 right here, this is a 1. So any cell that sees that would also not be able to contain a 1. And this is a 9, this cell would be a 1. So no matter what the orange cell is, there's always going to be a 1 in one of these 3 colored cells. So any cell that sees all 3 of the colored cells, you can eliminate a 1. And that would be this cell right here. I cover XYZ wings in this tutorial. And the reason you overlook it because it's not quite a BVC and it's not a single candidate strategy, but it is super powerful because once you remove the 1 from right here, there's only one other place to put a 1 in row 2. This cell right here has to be a 1. Let's get rid of our colors. And we're going to see what this does because there's some bonus strategy I have for you. I just thought you probably missed this one. It is the most efficient way to move to the next stage of this puzzle. Because now you put the 1 right there. And then what it does is, what you'll see is you have a 1, 8 here, and you have a 1, 8 right there. And so now the 1s are restricted to these 2 cells in block 6, along with the 8s. And whenever you see Snyder on top of each other like that, that's called a hidden pair. And because a hidden pair means the 1 and 8 can only be in the same 2 cells in block 6. And so no other candidates can be in those cells because you'd have no room for the 1 or the 8. And so we can remove that, and that's going to put a lot of pressure now on column 9. Because you notice you have a 4 right here. 4 can't be in these cells. It has to be in one of these cells now, right? Because there's a 4. Snyder 4 is right there. So now this is a pointing pair. Since the 4s have to be in column 8 now in block 6, it cannot be anywhere else in column 8. And so this can no longer be a 4. That's got to be your 2, and that's going to make this a 4 because we displaced that Snyder. And then you can look up here, we need now a 2, 3, 6 to finish column 9. I got a 2 here in row 8, a 2 in row 1. So the only place for the 2 is right there. And so we can put a 3, 6 naked pair right here. And now I have some bonus strategies for you to help us with this puzzle. Because this is a 2, we know that's going to be a 7, and that's going to be a 4, displacing the Snyder 7. Easy. And now, because of this 2, we can solve this cell for a 2. And this is going to bring up a neat naked triple trick. We need a 1, 3, 9 for these 3 cells. Well, a 9 sees 2 of the empty cells, and then the 1 also sees 1 of those same cells. Whenever you have this situation, you can solve all 3 cells, because you know this has to be your 3. The only place the 9 can go is right there, and this is going to be your 1. And now we can solve the 5 and a 9 right there, displacing this Snyder 5. Solve for a 5 right here, and this is going to give us a 3, 6 naked pair. Okay, with this 5, let's move on down here to block 7. Displace the Snyder 5 and 5 right there. Where can a 4 go here in column 2? Can't be here because of this 4. Can't be here because of this 4. So this has to be your 4. Displacing the Snyder 4, and you can solve for 4 right there. And then with these 2 4s and this 4, we can solve for a 4 in block 7, displacing the Snyder 4 in block 8. We solve that for a 4, displacing that Snyder 7. Okay, after doing the 7, now we can go across row 7, and we can solve the rest of row 7 here, right? Well, we know the 9 right there means this has to be a 1. And then what you need is a 2, a 6, and a 9. Well, I have a 2 and a 9 right here, and I have the 2 repeated in here. So another neat naked triple trick. Whenever you have 2 or 3 candidates looking at one cell, and another one's repeated, you can solve all 3. So we know this has to be your 6. Only place a 2 can go is right there, and this is going to be your 9. And then after doing that, we can finish block 8, because we know this has to be your 9 right there. And now we're going to do what I call the right angle trick. We're going to be able to figure out right here, by solving this block, where the 3 is up in block 3, using my right angle trick. Okay, and I'll show you how it works. We need a 1, 3, 9 right there. We have a 9 here, so this has to be your 9. Because there's a 3 right there, this is your 3, and that's going to be your 1. This 3 now makes this a 6. Doing the right angle up here, you get a 3 in the corner. Yeah, and that's going to be your 6. Learn more about the right angle trick and the neat naked triple trick in this tutorial. Okay, now we can solve this cell here. We already displaced the 9, so that's got to be a 3. And let's see what else we can do. With these 2 1s, we can solve for a 1 right here. Disambiguating the 8 and a 1 right there. We're going to make sure we get rid of these marks. That's going to be your 8, and this is going to be your 7. Okay, with these 2 7s and this 7, a little cross hatching will give us a 7 right there and a 3 right there. And then this 3 and this 3, solve for a 3 here, and we're going to finish this full house with a 5 in block 6. These 2 5s, that's got to be a 5. Looking good. With these 1s and this 1, this has got to be a 1. Another full house. So I see a 6 in block 5. And so with these 2 6s, this has got to be a 6. We need a 2 and a 9. My 9 is going to be pulled over from block 5. So there's your 9. There is your 2. I don't see a 2 in block 5. So there's a 2. And that's got to be your 3. Awesome. And then with these 2s, I know I need a 2 in block 4. That's it. And our last digit is a 9. See if you can solve the classic Sudoku that inspired this puzzle here. Thank you so much for watching.